Hello everyone, this is part 3 of What If Naruto Was Like Gaara, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto awoke to the sun beaming down on him through the window by his bed. He groaned as he got up and got showered and dressed. I wonder what mission we'll get today, he thought as he locked the door to his apartment, then walked out of the building to find a mob was mobilized outside his apartment. Hey, what's going on? Asked Naruto, confused. You killed my best friend demon, shouted one of the men. I don't know what you're talking about, said Naruto coolly. He had been in situations like this many times before. My best friend Misaki was out having a night on the town when he met a girl he hasn't been seen since, said the man. Hello, last time I checked I'm a guy, said Naruto. You can change your appearance to look like other people, said the man. So any ninja can do that, said Naruto. It doesn't matter, he's gone and you're responsible, said the man as he and mob ran towards him. Naruto smirked as he took a fighting stance. I've been looking for a chance to K, he said maniacally, causing everyone in the group to stop. He then disappeared before their eyes. Suddenly blood spurted from one of the men's chest as a large gash appeared from his shoulder to his hip. Then another man had a confused look on his face before his head fell to the ground, causing his body to follow suit. The man's blood poured from the headless end, turning the ground a crimson red. The remaining men stared in terror as Naruto reappeared before them. His body was covered in blood. A sadistic smile was etched into his face. Come on, is this the best you've got? He shouted as he disappeared again, then reappeared before the man that had accused him of king, or caping his best friend. Let's see what kind of heart you have, said Naruto as he punched his hand through the man's chest and out his back, clutching his still beating heart. Naruto smiled as he stared at the man's shocked face, then he squeezed the man's heart, causing him to shudder. The beats coming from it seemed labored. Naruto gave it another squeeze, causing the man to gasp and cough blood onto his already blood-ridden arm. Naruto smiled with a sadistic look that could paralyze an Anbu. Naruto then gave the heart one final squeeze. The fast and labored beating that was coming from it ceased. The rest of the men stared in horror as they watched the scene, then they took off to their homes, leaving a blood-bathed Naruto and 3 corpses. Naruto laughed and made to give chase when he was stopped by Kakashi. Sensei, get out of my way or I will kill you, said Naruto, growled Naruto. That's enough, Naruto, they have no further inquiry with you, said Kakashi. Oh, they'll be back, and when they come back I'm gonna have me a good old-fashioned bloodbath, said Naruto with another sadistic smile that caused Kakashi to flinch. Well, since they've gone and run off, I'll leave you to clean up the mess while I get washed and a fresh change of clothes, said Naruto, walking back to his apartment. After he was showered and changed, he found that the boss of the villages had been removed from the area. Kakashi appeared before Naruto, who gave him a sadistic smile. I've told the Hokage what happened, you've been left off the hook, said Kakashi. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, isn't like there's a person alive or s that can best me, said Naruto coldly. Well, on a side note, we've got another mission and I think you're going to like this one, said Kakashi, trying to tempt the boy a little. I'm listening, said Naruto. Well, it's a C-rank mission, you can thank Kiba for that, but anyway we are to escort a bridge builder to the land of waves in the water country, said Kakashi. I'm waiting for the part that I'm supposed to like about this mission, said Naruto. It's a fair possibility that bandits will attack us while we're on our journey, said Kakashi. Naruto pondered this for a moment. A chance to K sounds like fun, but what if it's just Kakashi trying to sweet talk me so that I won't just K the client and be done with it, thought Naruto. He then thought about it a little more. Alright, I'm in, said Naruto. Kakashi smiled, then led Naruto to the Hokage's tower where the rest of the team was waiting for the briefing. About time, Kakashi-sensei, said Kiba as he and Naruto walked through the door of the Hokage's office. Sorry, I had to help Naruto with a little problem, as you're aware of Lord Hokage, said Kakashi. Yes, I have the report, said the third as calmly as if it were a child's homework assignment that needed grading. Now then, your mission will be to escort Tazuna, not sure if spelled right, please correct me if I'm wrong, the bridge builder to the land of waves. Once there you are to guard him until the bridge is complete, said the third. The Junin and the three genin nodded in agreement as a grisly-looking man walked into the room. His face and head were covered in grey hair, his clothes were stained with sweat and sake to the point that he looked to be wearing a faded puke-colored shirt with grey pants. These are the ones who'll be watching my back. I'd better have my family make funeral arrangements, said Tazuna coldly. Hey, you don't like it, you know where the door is, said Naruto cheekily. What's your name, kid? Asked Tazuna. Naruto, Uzumaki, said Naruto in a monotone voice. You know what, I think I like this kid, sure you can escort me, he said, raising his hand to ruffle Naruto's hair. You want that hand? Asked Naruto coldly. Tazuna pulled his hand away so fast you'd think he touched white-hot metal. Then he started to chuckle. I like this kid, he said as they walked out of the Hokage's office. Naruto, please don't K him, thought the third as he leaned back into his orthopedic chair. Naruto, Hinata, Kiba, Kakashi, and Tazuna were walking down a dirt road a few miles outside of Konoha. Naruto looked around the area seemingly on edge, especially when they saw a puddle in the middle of the bare, dry, dusty road. Someone's here, he said in a hushed tone, then a barrage of shuriken flew at him. Naruto did a quick number of hand signs. Wind style, wind barrier jutsu. He shouted, the air around them shimmered, then the shuriken bounced off of nothing. Each one hitting the ground with a soft thud, then two ninja jumped from the woods to the left of the team. One was carrying a scythe with a ball and chain attached to it, can't remember what they're called, and the other had claws on his hand. Each one was soaked with a purple liquid. Naruto, Kiba, Hinata form a perimeter around Tazuna and keep him safe, said Kakashi. Hinata and Kiba nodded. Naruto, however, remained where he was. This was the chance he'd been hoping for, a chance to he shouted as a red chakra engulfed his body, taking the form of a one-tailed fox. His hands became claws, his canines lengthened, his blue eyes turned blood red. With vertical SS for pupils, his hair seemed to become slicked back slightly. He then fell to all fours. His touch scorched the ground, then he disappeared in a whirl of red chakra. He then reappeared in front of their ninja with claws who was about to Kakashi from behind. He SD off the ninja's arm, then he knocked him backwards with a wave of red chakra. Then he took off like a shot towards the ninja and sped off his other arm, allowing the blood to spray him. He relished the feeling as he then did an uppercut to the man's jaw, causing his head to fly clear off his shoulders. His blood leaked onto the ground like a crimson river. Kiba and Hinata watched the carnage unfold before them. Hinata actually barfed when she saw Naruto punch the man's head off his shoulders. He then turned to the ninja that Kakashi had tied up. The scent of blood and fear filled his nostrils as he advanced slowly towards the ninja. Like a beast stalking its prey, he moved closer to his target. His chakra-covered claws were ready to S into his F. Naruto was now inches from the man. He then did a set of hand signs. Fire style, Inferno Jutsu, said Naruto. He then pointed his palm to the man as a jet of fire swirled from his hand, burning him alive. Naruto laughed as the man screamed in pain from the white-hot flames that now engulfed his body. Soon nothing but ashes remained of the man. The other was a pile of rotting meat. Naruto then turned to his comrades. Blood ran down his arms and soaked into his cloths, giving him the appearance of a madman. His blonde hair also had a few flecks of blood in it. This caused Hinata to have dry heaves as he changed back into his normal form. Well, that was invigorating, he said with a smile. Having got to K twice in one day was a rare treat to him. It had been several hours since the attack. Naruto was starting to feel the strain that he'd put his body through. The jutsus he'd used up nearly half of his chakra, and the Kyuubi's shroud took a toll on his body. Every time he moved, he felt a sharp pain shoot through his body. I think I overdid it, he thought, not showing any sign of injury to his teammates or his sensei. NN Naruto, why you alright? Asked Hinata. Why shouldn't be? Asked Naruto coldly. Hinata looked away with a sad look on her face. Hey, she was just worried about you, that's all, there's no call to bite her head off, said Kiba. He soon found himself being hoisted in the air by his tea. Come on dog breath, say something now, said Naruto, getting his sadistic smile on his face. Naruto, put him down, said Kakashi firmly. Naruto smirked, then threw Kiba through 3 trees before he came to a halt at a 4th one that snapped in half like a toothpick. Be glad you're still alive, said Naruto as Kiba staggered to his feet. Akamaru, who had been perched on his head, gave a whimper. Naruto then turned to Kakashi. Once this is over I'm going to kill you, said Naruto. Then as an afterthought he said, believe it. What is this kid? Thought Tazuna as they made their way to a beach where a single boat was perched awaiting their arrival. Something's wrong, said Naruto as a dense fog rolled over them. Well, Tazuna went and hired yourself some ninja, said a deep voice from within the fog. Naruto, Kiba, Hinata, stay back. This guy isn't some low-level chunin, he's a Junin level S-class Rouge ninja, said Kakashi. But sensei, we can help, said Kiba. You have your orders, said Kakashi as a man materialized out of thin air. He was shirtless with white bands that reached from his wrist to his forearms. He was wearing white pants. He had a zanpakuto on his back. Well, Kakashi Hatake of the Sharingan, said he. Man. Zabuza of the 7 ninja swordsmen, said Kakashi. Well, I'm impressed you've heard of me, said Zabuza. As am I that you've heard of me, said Kakashi. Zabuza then started doing a set of hand signs. Water style, water dragon jutsu, said Zabuza. A giant dragon rose out of the river behind Kakashi, only it wasn't aimed for him. It was aimed for Tazuna. Kakashi did a few hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu, said Kakashi as he blew fire at the dragon, causing it to evaporate. I guess I have no choice then, said Kakashi, pulling his headband off of his left eye, revealing a scarlet red eye with 3 tomo encircling the pupil. So that's a Sharingan, said Naruto. Kiba looked at him with a confused look. What's a Sharingan? He asked. It's a Keki Genkia, much like the Byakugan, the difference being while a Byakugan user can see an opponent's chakra network with great precision, as well as seeing through an opponent's genjutsu, the Sharingan can do both of these to a degree. The greatest weapon the Sharingan holds is its ability to what seems like to the user slow down time, but the thing is only an Uchiha can use the Sharingan, said Naruto. Incredible, said Kiba. Amazing, said Hinata. Well, Kakashi, I'm honored you're finally taking me serious, said Zabuza. He then began to do a series of hand signs. Kakashi copied each movement with ease. Water style, typhoon jutsu, they both shouted. There was a sudden rush of water from the river as 2 opposing waves crashed into each other. Zabuza suddenly appeared behind Kakashi, then created an orb of water that swallowed the Junin. Naruto, Hinata, Kiba, take Tazuna and get back to the village. That's an order, said Kakashi. None of the genin moved. I thought we were a team, said Hinata. Yeah, you don't leave teammate behind, said Kiba. Kakashi smiled. Normally I'd agree with you, but now isn't the time to be disobeying me, said Kakashi. Naruto smiled. He then took a sniff of the air. Why, Kakashi-sensei, is that fear I smell? Asked Naruto as he took a step forward. Oh, we've got ourselves a hero, said Zabuza. Naruto did a single hand sign. Shadow clone jutsu, he shouted. Then 10 Narutos appeared in a cloud of smoke. A shadow clone jutsu, I must say kid, I'm impressed, but sadly you must said Zabuza as he created a water clone. The Naruto clones smiled as each one, including the original, became covered in the fox shroud. Then they attacked the water clone, all the while the real Naruto had hung back and began to perform another series of hand signs. Fire style, QB Inferno, shouted Naruto as 9 glowing fireballs appeared behind him. Then a strong wind pushed the flames forwards like 9 flamethrowers. Zabuza's water clone was obliterated. He had to release his own jutsu in order to dodge the attack. Kakashi was now free. He walked towards Zabuza, who had begun to perform hand signs. Kakashi copied his every move flawlessly. Water style, water dragon jutsu. They shouted in unison as 2 dragons made entirely of water appeared, then crashed into each other. Naruto started to do another set of hand signs. Wind style, vacuum vortex jutsu, shouted Naruto as the air around Zabuza became distorted, then it swirled around him. Alright Zabuza, you've got 30 seconds before the air around you is gone. Now tell us who hired you, said Naruto as sweat poured off of him. I work for a man named Gato. That's all the information you're getting out me, said Zabuza. Then, I guess, there's no reason to. Naruto fell to the ground out cold. His jutsu was released as soon as he lost consciousness. Naruto, shouted Hinata. Suddenly senbon needles shot from the nearby trees, hitting Zabuza in the end, causing him to fall over. Then an Anbu from the village hidden in the rain appeared. I've been on his trial for months, thank you for your help, was all the ninja said as he disappeared with Zabuza's body. Kakashi walked over to Naruto, then picked up his body and carried him to the boat. The rest followed him. Once Naruto was inside the vessel, he too collapsed inside the boat, leaving Kiba and Hinata to steer the boat. Hinata was watching over both Naruto and Kakashi-sensei while Kiba and Tazuna worked the boat. Kakashi awoke just as the boat hit the shore of a small island that Tazuna was currently building a bridge from to the mainland. I overdid it with the Sharingan, said Kakashi as Kiba and Tazuna hoisted him onto their shoulders, leaving Hinata with Naruto. Naruto, please be alright, she whispered. Tears slid down her face like water from a broken dam. She pressed her hand to Naruto's head and immediately pulled it away. He was running a very high fever. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small washcloth, then dipped it into the water and placed it on Naruto's head. The water ran down his face in drops and soaked his blonde hair. Naruto, said Hinata in another whispered tone. Kiba came back a few minutes later and helped Hinata carry the sick Naruto to Tazuna's house. They carried him to a small two-story house painted a faded yellow. The door was a single piece of wood. They walked inside to see the same color on the walls that was on the outside walls. The floor was covered in a green carpet and hardwood. To their right was a small kitchen out of dining room. To their left was a set of stairs. A woman with dark hair came down the stairs. She had a kind face. Her brown eyes showed excitement. She was wearing a long tightened skirt with a dark blue shirt. Oh my, is he all right? Asked the woman. He's running a high fever, said Hinata as they carried him to a room. Once inside, they lowered him onto the bed. There was a small window to the left of the bed. It was the only thing that furnished this room. Are you sure this is all right? Asked Hinata. Yes, it's fine. I sleep in the room downstairs anyway, so there isn't any trouble, said the woman. Once they had settled Naruto into bed, Hinata turned to the woman. Mom, could you give me a pan of cold water? Asked Hinata. The woman laughed as if Hinata had told her a terrific joke. Of course, dear, and please call me Tsunami, said the woman as she and Hinata headed down the stairs to fetch the pot and water. Hinata was now sitting beside the boy that she'd harbored a crush, unable to do any more than put a cold cloth on his head to help bring his fever down. Naruto felt consciousness leave his body as he stared at the Rouge Ninja from the Rain Village. He looked around to find he was inside a dimly lit hallway. The floor was covered in a thin film of water. He stood up and walked down the pathway towards an even bigger room. He looked at the walls to see that one of them wasn't really a wall. It was a giant gate with a piece of paper that had a gadget on it for seal. Who's there? Show yourself, said Naruto as deep breathing could be heard from within the chamber. Suddenly claws as large as a house shot towards him, only to be stopped by the gate. Hello human, said a deep voice from within the gate. Who are you? Said Naruto, his voice firm. I am the Kyuubi, said the voice as two red eyes appeared before Naruto. Then the image of a giant red fox appeared. Come closer human so that I may devour you, said Kyuubi. Hey listen up you furball, you're in my body, got it, said Naruto. Well then this changes things for you, doesn't it human? I cannot allow you to S, for that would mean that I would also S, said Kyuubi. So what are you going to do about it? Asked Naruto, crossing his arms. The demon fox gave out a sinister laugh that echoed throughout the cavern-like area. I will grant you my power any time you wish for it, said the Kyuubi. His laughter echoed through Naruto's mind as he slowly regained consciousness. He felt a cold cloth on his head. He reached to pull it off when he felt his arm had something heavy on his. He looked to see it was Hinata. He looked out the window to see the full moon shining brightly through the curtains. He let out a sigh. He felt weak, much too weak to move. He soon allowed sleep to take him. He then began to dream of the day when he would destroy Konoha, and with the fox's power at his disposal, that dream was coming closer to reality. Naruto awoke the next morning to find Hinata was still lying across his chest. He tried to use his free arm to pull her off, only to find that he couldn't move it. He looked to see there wasn't anything wrong with it. He tried to sit up, only to get caught by a dizzy spell and fall back onto his pillow. What's wrong with me? He thought as he lay there. You used too much chakra yesterday. Your body won't move until you've had something to eat, said the Kyuubi from within his head. Naruto made quietly. He wanted food, and most of all he wanted Hinata off of his chest. Every time she moved it would send a jet of pain through his system. Soon after he thought this, she began to stir, then her eyes jolted open. Her face was as red as a tomato. Damn decent of you, said Naruto, rubbing his chest, trying to ease that pain that her movements and sent through him. Oh Naruto, I'm sorry, I must have fell asleep, said Hinata. Her face showed fear as well as embarrassment. Well, she actually didn't stutter, thought Naruto. I'll let it slide this one time if you help me to the kitchen. I'm starving, said Naruto, trying to get to his feet. Only to fall back onto the bed. Hinata giggled slightly at his clumsy act, then she reached her arm around his shoulder and helped him out of bed. Once they got to the stairs, Naruto leaned against the banister and thudded down the stairs. His legs were so sore and stiff he could barely move them. Once at the bottom of the stairs, Hinata resumed her post as Naruto's crutch. Once they were inside the kitchen out of dining room, she helped Naruto onto a chair. He sped the edge of the table to keep himself upright. Unbeknownst to him, his grip actually caused the table to crack slightly. Soon the smell of fried rice filled the air as Tsunami had begun cooking breakfast. Hinata and Naruto were soon joined by Kakashi, Kiba, Tazuna and a little boy with a green shirt and white shorts with a white hat. Naruto, are you alright? Asked Hinata as Naruto started to sway slightly. I'm fine, he grunted as he struggled to keep himself upright with little success. Kiba leaned in to whisper something in Kakashi's ear. Kakashi nodded, then looked to Hinata. Hinata, would you be so kind as to help our young Naruto stay upright before he collapses onto the table? Asked Kakashi. Behind his mask an evil grin formed. Kiba turned his face so not to reveal he too was grinning and cursing Kakashi for having a mask on his face. Hinata's face turned a deep shade of red. Yes, SSSIR, she said as she walked towards Naruto, who had started to shake from the strain of staying upright. Oh, and Hinata, said Kakashi as Hinata helped Naruto lean back in the chair but still remain upright. If you start calling me sir, I'll start calling you Lady Hyuga, said Kakashi. Yes, sensei, said Hinata, sitting back down. Soon Tsunami came in carrying a large pot of rice, then walked back into the kitchen and came out with an equally large pot of sauce. Naruto looked at the food wearily as he picked up the bowl that Tsunami had given him and placed a single scoop of rice and sauce into the bowl. Then he picked up his chopsticks and he dropped them. His face fell to the table with a loud bang. Naruto! Shouted Hinata. Naruto then fell to the floor. His face was past white, sweat poured off him in bucketfuls. He started to twitch slightly as he shivered from apparently being cold. What's wrong with him? Asked Kiba. Akamaru barked from atop his head and began to sniff the air, then barked again. What's that, boy? He's poisoned, but how? Said Kiba with a confused look on his face. The answer made itself known as a tiny spider with a black body scuttled out from under Naruto's collar. Ofn, he was never changed out of his cloths from the night before. A spider, said Hinata, grabbing a piece of paper from her pocket and scooped the spider onto it. As she did, it flopped into its back, revealing a dark red hourglass. A black widow, said Kakashi sternly as the spider ran off the paper and onto the floor again. Hinata crushed it so it wouldn't bite anyone else. What can we do for him? Said Tsunami as she tried to pick Naruto up with little success because he started to thrash about. We've got to take him back to the village so he can get medical attention, said Kakashi. This caused Naruto's eyes to jot open. We aren't going anywhere, he panted. Naruto, you're in no condition to argue. I'm sorry, but the mission is over, said Kakashi. Naruto got an evil smirk on his face. Funny Kakashi-sensei, I didn't know you were that eager to he said in his maniacal tone. What do you mean? Asked Kakashi. Well, the way I see it, I told you that once the mission was over I would kill you, and now the mission's over I'm going to keep my promise, that is unless the mission is still on, said Naruto, performing the hand signs for his vacuum vortex jutsu. The air around Kakashi started to shimmer slightly. I think you know what'll happen if I do the last hand sign, said Naruto. Naruto, stop, you don't have enough chakra to perform this jutsu, said Kakashi. I've got enough to kill you, said Naruto threateningly. Kakashi sighed. Fine Naruto, we'll stay, but you're on bed rest until the mission is over. Agreed? Asked Kakashi. Agreed, said Naruto. He then collapsed again. His clothes were now soaked with sweat from the exertion he put himself through. Alright Kiba, Hinata, get him up to his room. Hinata, you're in charge of making sure he stays there, said Kakashi. Yes, sensei, they both said in unison as they pulled Naruto up the stairs. Then only Kiba came down. This is unfortunate, and I was going to have you three go through a little exercise to grasp your chakra control better, said Kakashi. Naruto, hearing this, looked at Hinata. His eyes were now bloodshot. You've got to the count of 1 to get down there and beg him to let both of you do the exercise, said Naruto. Hinata didn't need to be told twice and she raced down the stairs. Naruto could hear her asking Kakashi to do the exercise and tell him that he told her to. He could also hear Kakashi sigh, then he told him to follow him. Once he left, Naruto let out a cry that would bring a fly to its knees. "What is it?" said Tsunami, running up the stairs. "I'm in unimaginable pain." "That's what you dolt," said Naruto as he felt pain shoot through his chest. Suddenly he fell limp, his eyes were glazed over, staring unseeing at the ceiling. He no longer felt any pain, everything was nothing but a memory to him now. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.